Well, as you can see, I'm down here at the beautiful Marlfield House for my venue visit today. As always, I'm going to take you around, show you the venue, highlight some of my favourite places for photos and places you can kind of set up details that'll just make a bit of a difference to your photographs. So like my other venue visits, I'm going to start at the very beginning of the wedding from when you walk in straight into bridal prep. You're going to have to forgive the noise because there's a bit of garden maintenance going on behind you, but here's the entrance to Marlfield. It is a beautiful entrance. Just around the side you can head off into the gardens, but I'll take you around there later. First we're going to go inside into the main reception. Okay, so just walking into reception through the doors into this big reception room, which a lot of the drinks reception takes place here if you want, but I've also had a ceremony done here and I've also had speeches done here, and this is typically where dancing is done, but I will talk. So as I said, we're going to start off with the morning prep. So down the hallway here, this is the main bridal suite. It's called the print room. So we're just going to walk in here. And this is the main bridal suite. I'll take you around to a few other rooms to give you a few other options, but this is generally where the bride gets ready in the morning. Now, this is actually one of the darker of the rooms, but why I actually like this room for bridal prep is I actually like this wall a lot. It makes some really good bridal portraits after you're in the dress, but really it has to do with this window. And it's not just a window, it's actually doors that lead out into the garden, which is perfect if you get ready in time, that you have enough time to take portraits in front of this window or just outside the door. And another reason why I like this room is because you can go out in the garden, but no one's going to see you. So usually, like if the groom is getting ready here or any other of the guests, they are on the other side of the house. So if you pop out into these gardens, they're generally not going to see you, especially just right outside this door. But what I will say is this space here tends to get used by the makeup and hair artists, because obviously there's a lot of light for the hair and makeup artists, but I would recommend, if you can chat to your hair and makeup artist, to not let them do hair and makeup too close to this window, because what'll happen is once you're in your dress, there's no time to move everything away and you don't get a chance to use the window for any nice portraits afterwards. So what I would suggest is either have them just kind of back a little bit further from the window, or to actually let them use this room here, and I'll show you that now. Okay, so here's the window. And just to the side here is actually a sweet little dressing room before you get into the bathroom. Now, again, I don't know what the hair and makeup artist will want in terms of light, but it is actually kind of makes some cute portraits to have hair and makeup going on in here. But like I said, if they want to use the natural light, that's absolutely fine. I would just prefer if they could try and stay back from the window if at all possible, so that we can use this window for some nice portraits. The other thing I have seen in this room is a ceremony, a small ceremony. I would probably avoid using this room for a ceremony because there really isn't that much light or room for the photographer to work with. It's cute if it's a middle of winter and it doesn't matter if you have any light or not. I would say sure, fine, use the room. But if you are getting married in the summer, try and avoid using this room for your ceremony. Okay, so let me take you back out into the hallway and just across the hall to the other room called the Stopford room, which has also been used for brides getting ready, grooms getting ready. You can see instantly it's a much brighter room, but it is a much smaller room. Now, it does look nice and bright today, but I will say that on a dark day when there isn't a lot of sunshine, this room can tend to be just as dark as the room across. But it is a good option for the groom. I would avoid it for the bride personally, just because you're in the front of the house. So that means that if you want to take any portraits near the window, it's a little bit more difficult because there might be people passing by the window, so you mightn't want the curtains drawn. Now, there's a few other bedrooms. They're a little bit smaller. The ones I showed you are kind of their big suites. This is the Moreland Room. It's just down the hallway. This is another good option for the groom getting ready because, again, nice big windows. But just outside of the door, you have the doors into the gardens, which gives you more options to come out here in the hallway and take some portraits of the groom in some better light, and also even just pop outside into the garden, and you're not going to see the bride from here. And I'll show you one more. The Sheraton room is another option for the grooms getting ready. Nice bright room again, and again, just off to the side you have the gardens that you can go out into. So those are the few options for the grooms getting ready. Or if one of these smaller rooms are available and your hair and makeup team are cool with it and the venue's cool with it, use this space for your hair and makeup to happen. And then that way you have the bridal suite nice and clean and tidy for when it's time to get into the dress. So I'm going to take you out to the gardens next to talk ceremonies, because I showed you inside the house with the main hall being a possible space for a small ceremony, and again the print room, which I generally wouldn't recommend for a small ceremony. The other space is the marquee, which I'll take you into, but that's more for reception. So if you're having a larger ceremony, ideally you would have it outside if at all possible. So that is the front of the house. We just came through the side gate. I'm going to take you around a walk through the gardens just to show you what's around. This is the side of the building. There's a little bridge down there for photos, a little pond here, a fountain. This is the side where I was showing you down the hallways. The bedrooms are literally just through that door down there. So you can come out here for some portraits. It's nice and private. Okay, so we're at the side of Marlfield. Probably the most beautiful side, in my opinion. But right through here, that's where the bridal suite is. So could you imagine if you have lovely weather and you have plenty of time, you just literally pop out here and you have an amazing photograph before you go to your ceremony. So, okay, so I was talking about optimal photo spots. This is probably the most famous photo spot. I think everybody uses this spot. I use this spot all the time. It's fantastic. So it's very sunny in this spot right now and creating some harsh shadows, but later on in the day, around the time you'd have an on-site ceremony, this spot is nicely shaded, which is great for portraits afterwards, very flattering. Or if you wanted to have a ceremony, this would actually be a good spot too. And I don't actually know if I've seen a ceremony here, but it would be beautiful. You guys are going to have to forgive me if the sound is kind of hard to hear because it's quite windy out here. We were just down on that side of the house when we came around. Now, okay, maybe this is the most stunning view of the house, I have to say, and this area here is also used for outdoor ceremonies. But what I will say, if it's a very sunny day like today, you might get a few harsh shadows, but you know, for this view, it's kind of worth it, and if you're a good photographer, they'll make it look amazing. We are facing, I think, just about northwest, looking in this direction, which means the sun is kind of going to be out of the side, which is why you're going to get those harsh shadows. But just in there, I called it the marquee, it's actually the conservatory, but that is where your dinner will be taking place. I'm going to keep... Okay, so I've just walked further into the gardens, into this Daffodil Fields currently at the moment. But later on in the summer, these trees will be full of leaves, which will offer some good shade from the sun and coverage from a bit of rain. I had a popular wedding where they had the ceremony in this field for a larger wedding, and it worked beautifully. I can show you that picture now in a moment, but as well, it's always worth checking with the venue just to make sure that they are still, you know, capable of doing ceremonies in the locations that I am suggesting. Okay, so there's the house. We're on the other side now. You can see I just walked through the little archway down here, down this little path. There is a little gazebo, which is another optimal spot for an outdoor ceremony. So there you go, you have quite a lot of options for outdoor ceremonies, even if it rains or it's too sunny. As you can see, the gardens are quite extensive, and there's lots of options for outdoor ceremonies, lots of options for portraits. And what I like about Marlfield is it's all nicely contained into a small area, so you have a lot of different options with portraits, and you don't have to walk too far. Okay, we're going to bring you back into the house, into the conservatory, so I can show you the space for your reception and make a few suggestions there. But you're probably wondering, what about if it rains? So if it rains for couples portraits, as you can see, there's some good spaces inside with those big bright windows and doors that you can use. There's a few covered spots outside for couples portraits as well. For family portraits, generally you'd end up using the print room because it has the most space and it's kind of the quietest room away from all of your guests. So we've just come inside the conservatory, and you can see this reception room is quite special. It's broken up into like a few different sections, and I'll show you that now, but this is the main part of the conservatory where you usually have your top table. And then if you go through here, you've got the rest of the rooms, and they're all just a little bit different, which I like. I'm going to take you back into the main part. What's fantastic about this conservatory is that even if it's raining outside, you have so much light in here. But I'm going to take you into this little side part, which isn't used for anyone to eat. It's usually just left here. This space is fantastic for couples portraits if it is raining outside. Even if it's not raining outside, I would bring a couple in here because it's just, it might look funny to you in the videos, but in a portrait, it is just stunning. So what I've been seeing lately, because this is the main room where couples usually have their top table, I'll see the cake table, dessert table, whatever, set up here. My suggestion from what I've seen in the past that I think works even better is if you come through to this side room, the room with all the amazing wallpaper, is to put your cake here against this wall because the background is so beautiful and the light is usually much better. Okay, let's talk tables now because they have it set up with this long table, and I've honestly not seen a long table in this room ever. I've always seen round tables, but this is amazing. If you don't have too many guests and you can get away with it, have one long table in this room because it works so well with the size and shape of this room. So just for the sake of showing you around, just off the side of the conservatory is the bar. So on a not so great day, this is where part of your drink reception will be. Drink reception will be anywhere in the house really other than the conservatory and the bedrooms. What I can't show you today is just a little lounge, which is just off the other side of the reception room. The bar is through there, and there's just another little lounge. But there's someone having a meeting in there. We can't go in there today, but it's just another spot that you'll have people going for their drink reception on a bad day. Otherwise, you will be out in these beautiful gardens. This is a very big if. If you have a very small wedding here and you're stuck for somewhere to do some portraits, especially group and family portraits, you could use one of these little side areas which are normally filled with reception tables for your portraits because there's plenty of light and, as you can see, gorgeous background. I was talking about cake tables there in this room. I've also seen the cake placed out in the hallway near the stairs so that when people are coming into dinner, they see the cake before they walk into dinner. I would recommend not putting it there. It's just way too dark. Your photographer most likely have to whip out their flash or just have, a photograph that isn't quite as bright and light as my type of photography style. So I would always definitely put it in the reception room, the reception room in the conservatory somewhere if possible, and most specifically in the spot that I suggested, but definitely not over by the stairs. I came back outside to take a couple of more shots because I'll be compiling all this information into a nice little PDF because I'm going around taking photographs as I do these stories. But this is the back of the bridal suite, and as you can see there's just a little bit enough overhang there to come outside for a few portraits. In case it is raining, you will get outside and you'll have this nice beautiful background. Okay, I think that concludes my venue visit to Marlfield House. But as you can see, it is April. It's April already. What the heck? But nothing's quite yet in bloom. But when it is in bloom, and when the weather isn't as crazy, the gardens are absolutely fantastic, and there'll be a lot of beautiful spots for portraits. But the one thing else I didn't show you is that they have peacocks. Usually just peacocks roaming around the place. So you might